A chance to date Beyonce, early on, and we had a conversation.
She definitely set us on top as far as like the song and the album being #1 with her creativity. So we really have her to thank for this Grammy.
What are you smiling at? What's going on?
Because I can't, because she makes me blush when she talks about that.
And then went home, and then I called Carlton to get Kelly's number, and I was calling Kelly to get Beyonce's number. And I called Kelly and said, "Hey, Kelly." She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I know it's might be kind of weird, but what's Beyonce's number?" And she said, "This is Beyonce," because they live together, and I didn't know it, and bam.
Big Dog and all the 581 ballers. I love y'all.
Beyonce.
Solange, my little sister, Angie, Lyndall, I love you.
Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people.
Hold up. Did Terrence Howard just expose Beyonce for having an affair with him when she was supposed to be in a committed relationship with Jay-Z? At this point, I'm convinced Jay-Z only cheated because they were both cheating. Because girl, she has been getting exposed left and right for having multiple relationships with men other than just Jay, and the receipts are getting harder and harder to deny. The affairs she's been rumored to be involved in trace all the way to Terrence and her bodyguard Julius, to even some alleged lesbian relationships. To make matters even worse, people also found out that she might be involved in Jay-Z's illegal mess, and that her whole innocent persona is just a PR thing she does to not bring attention to herself. Now, if you are a hardcore Beyonce fan, then you already know that the Terrence affair rumors have been a thing for a long time. The rumors started after Beyonce's infamous Cater For You performance, when she brought Terrence out and gave him the seductive lap dance. She has never danced on Jay-Z like this. Mind you, Terrence wasn't even supposed to be on stage. She randomly picked him out of the crowd to dance for him, and she was wearing a tight-colored dress which showed off their curves, so Terrence was feeling her body on his, on a very intimate level. Well, in a very surprising turn of events, Terrence recently appeared in an interview where he gave us some never-before-heard info about that dance. He said back when it happened, Beyonce actually wanted to date him, but he passed on her to have an affair with LaToya. And this had our girl Beyonce pressed. He claims this is why she intentionally picked him out of the crowd for that lap dance, to rub it in his face that he lost his chance with her by going for LaToya.
Jay-Z with Beyonce. You see these couples where it's like,
I had a chance to date Beyonce, early on, and we had a conversation, and I ended up talking to the other girl inside of, Destiny. The girl with the blue eyes. And I remember Beyonce looking over at me, and I think that's why she picked me to do that dance when she did the kind of striptease dance that we did at the BETs or whatever, to show me what I had lost. But I was attracted. There was a moment in which I felt something there.
with Beyonce.
But it didn't just end with Terrence. In fact, before Terrence, she was also rumored to be messing with Sean Paul. So apparently, after she and Big Sean released their song Baby Boy in 2003, they had a little fling. But it ended because Jay-Z found out. This explains why they barely performed the song together, even though it was so big at the time. Once Jay-Z found out she was allegedly trying to give Sean a taste of that cookie, he wasn't having it. Sean seemingly confirmed these rumors himself when he said he wished his relationship with Beyonce had the chance to turn into something bigger. He said, "I wish it did. She's beautiful. It was a big, fat, sexy song. Sexy video, sexy song, and a lot of sexy rumors." But right after this, things got a bit tense between them, because Beyonce started sabotaging him just to prove to Jay-Z that she wasn't having an affair. At least that's what the streets said she was doing. Sean recalled the time Beyonce left him out of her VMA's performance, despite them planning to perform the song together and even going to rehearsals for the performance. I'm sitting there in the crowd with my present wife, and Paris Hilton is sitting in front of me. Beyonce is coming down the stairs singing the song, and Paris Hilton turns to me and goes, "Why aren't you up there?" It was embarrassing and weird. Mind you, he was just a featured artist, so he really shouldn't be feeling entitled to perform with Beyonce, unless there's more to the story that we don't know about. Some artists don't even play the verse of the featured artist when they're performing the song, so the fact that Sean was feeling this entitled had people wondering if there was more to him and Beyonce's relationship than just work. In fact, Sean got so petty that when Beyonce finally agreed to perform with him in her show in Washington, he agreed to it only to end up ditching her at the last minute. I went there, did my show, and then waited around for a while. And I got pissed off. They were like, 3,000 influential people are waiting out there for you to do it. And I was like, 50 million people were watching the VMAs. I'm not doing it. And I left. And let's not forget the massive crush she had on Spanish superstar Alejandro Sanz. And in fact, according to Beyonce's mother Tina Knowles, Alejandro was the second runner-up before Jay-Z snatched her. They got close in 2002 when Destiny's Child jumped on his song Quisiera Ser. From there, Beyonce started falling hard for this man, and she wasn't even bothering to hide it. She was touching him, making seductive faces at him mid-interviews, and uncontrollably when she was around him. Mind you, she was doing all this on camera so clearly, she didn't mind the public knowing about this crush. People believe that Alejandro is the man Beyonce's mom, Miss Tina, was talking about when she spilled the tea in her memoir about Bey being torn between two music guys during Austin Powers filming in 2002. One was Jay-Z, the other, still unknown to this day. Apparently, both Jay-Z and this mysterious other guy would fly out to visit her, but Beyonce wasn't sure who she liked more. Well, who do you enjoy talking to more? Tina asked. Eventually, Bey chose Jay, and it has long been said that after Jay started cheating on her and getting exposed, she wished she would have picked Alejandro. And there's her longtime bodyguard, Julius. In fact, he's still her bodyguard to this day, and she made a whole love song about him. The rumors about their affair started back in 2014, when a source from her team revealed that Jay-Z caught Julius and Beyonce getting intimate. Apparently, he wanted to fire Julius, but Beyonce wasn't having it. The source said, and I quote, "Jay definitely thinks that there was and may still be something romantic going on between Bey and Julius. He wanted to fire Julius last February, but Beyonce said, Julius isn't going anywhere. They've spent a lot of time together behind closed doors. He's even stayed in her hotel room." And remember that live song I mentioned earlier that she allegedly did for Julius? Well, interestingly enough, the song is even titled Bodyguard, and the lyrics are very intimate to say the least. "I give you kisses in the back seat, / I whisper secrets in the backbeat. They couldn't catch you, / and they never will, / sometimes I hold you closer, / just to know you're real." According to multiple sources, the reason Beyonce was constantly cheating on Jay was that their marriage wasn't even legitimate to begin with. Jay needed a successful female artist next to him so he could become a powerhouse, and Beyonce was the perfect person for it. Her career was thriving, and she had the entire world captivated. But don't feel sorry for Beyonce, because apparently she was in on the plan too. She knew exactly what it was and still went along with it for her own personal gain. Word on the street is Beyonce wanted a powerful industry man beside her, and Jay fit the bill perfectly. This power dynamic definitely created a lot of issues for Beyonce, especially when it came to Jay pressuring her to do things she didn't want to. Jaguar Wright claims that Jay has gotten Beyonce hooked on all types of substances over the past few years to maintain control over her. This same tea was spilled by Beyonce's alleged ex-bodyguard, Uncle Ron, and he wound up dead not too long after.
Beyonce's on drugs. She's been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way.
And then there was this viral video of Beyonce looking zoned out at a basketball game with Jay. She could barely keep her eyes open and kept slowly swinging her head side to side to stay awake. Now, what most people don't know is that prior to Jay-Z and all these men that she's been rumored to be involved with, she had a boyfriend called Lyndall Locke. whom she met in 1993 at a youth group when she was 12. Apparently, it was actually Kelly Rowland who introduced them. He even took her to prom, but her dad Matthew's Project Beyonce machine was in full force at the time, and Lyndall didn't fit in that future. Lyndall actually talked about his relationship with her during a recent interview, and he accused her of being a control freak diva, only being focused on her voice, and refusing to do things with him because it could hurt her image. Mind you, this is how obsessed she was with her image even before she turned 18. Anyway, fast forward to 2000. They broke up, and that's when she went full out with her relationship with Jay-Z. He claims the breakup was supposed to be temporary, but she saw how beneficial it would be for her to stay with Jay-Z. So she went official with him and never looked back.
At this time, y'all were so young. I mean, was she actually singing then?
Yeah.
She was?
Yeah, she was never not singing, but she did not. It wasn't anything she talked about. She didn't talk about, like, I found out, like, over time, you know, it has to, you have to say something about, like, I'm going out of town. It's like, okay. It's like, I'm out of town. Where you at? I'm in Atlanta. What are you in Atlanta? You know, I mean, it's like, it has to. So, and you know, when she brought up, first time she brought up, I'm sorry, I talk fast, I mumble, and I'm playing with my Rubik's Cube. But when she mentioned it, she said, I don't normally talk about this. I don't like to talk about this. This is, you know, it's not a part of her life that she wants to put into other people's world so that, you know, it was personal. So I left it there.
She was pretty humble about the situation at the time.
Yeah. Nobody wants to talk about getting a record deal
And remember those lesbian allegations I mentioned earlier? Well, those rumors started when she collaborated with the singer Emil on the song I Got That. Shortly after the song got released, Emil revealed in an interview that Beyonce was trying to get into some things with her after they made the song. Interestingly enough, right after Emil said this, her career was never the same. In fact, the rumors came up again when Lady Gaga seemingly outed Beyonce for having a thing for women after they collaborated on their song Telephone. The song itself already had a lot of people looking at Beyonce sideways because of the chemistry she and Gaga had on the track. However, what really sealed the deal was when Gaga hopped on an interview shortly after the song dropped and admitted to Beyonce being attracted to women. She said, "We had an amazing time working together on her video, and it just kind of worked out because we both like women." What made these Gaga claims even messier was that some people did their research and discovered that just 2 years before, Beyonce had folks questioning how straight she really was when she got spotted at the gay club The Box with 3 female friends enjoying the club's provocative show, surrounded by a massive bodyguard and protective curtains blocking off their table. An eyewitness who was at the show that night said, Beyonce was really making the most of the burlesque strip show. She was on the table in the VIP balcony cheering loudly as 2 girls got naked and licked each other's feet. She stayed until 3:30 in the morning.
Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls.
As usual, people had their thoughts. Like this person who said, Terrence Howard dodged contracting STD. It's for real. Another person said, he's gay, ain't no way you had Beyonce and did not try to sleep with her, sorry. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of Terrence Howard exposing his and Beyonce's alleged affair? And do you really believe Beyonce had an affair with all these men and women? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.